Okay, welcome back to school year 2020-2021. Ulit. Hi guys, welcome back to school year 2020-2021. How are you doing? So welcome, welcome, welcome. See that school building? I'm sorry we can't be physically in our building today. So we're still doing phase one. Everything is in remote. I'll be teaching math while I'm here at home and you guys are listening to me. Yes, welcome to room 204. That should have been our room. Remember this room with the smart board, your tables in groups. I know you're gonna miss them, but sorry, not at this moment. Eventually we're gonna be there. So let me introduce myself again. I am Ram. I'm a Filipino American and I've taught grade 6, 7, and 8 math for almost 30 years now. Imagine that. 30 years I've been teaching math in the Philippines and here in the USA. And, in 2014, I won as the New York City Big Apple Teacher Awardee. So they think I'm the best teacher here in New York. You know what? They chose you to be in my class because you're the best students and they gave you the best teacher in New York. So it's a perfect fit, right? We're going to make use of this school year and learn a lot this school year. What else? Also in that year, 2014, I also got an award as a New York City Hometown Hero Awardee because, all teachers are heroes, especially right now during pandemic times. Teachers are still teaching. Okay, so anything about me, you all know about my YouTube channel, Rampage Math. Okay, so for my new students, go to YouTube, go to Rampage Math. You need to subscribe and you need to like and comment on the videos I share with you. And of course, my email address is in the school email address system. Just write Ramil Buenaventura at renaissancecharter.org, rencharter.org. Okay, so take note of that. That's Ram. I'll be your teacher for the whole year. So this is now phase one. As I said, phase one, we're doing, I'm working at home, you're learning at home. Okay, so everything is remote. We have a very, very safe distance. But eventually, after a month or two, depending on the situation, depending on the health situation in New York and in Jackson Heights, we will move on to hybrid learning. What do we mean by hybrid learning? So some could be working at home and some would be going to school, having real face-to-face class session with your teachers. Yeah, that could happen. Stay tuned and we will know when will this happen. Next, so the new normal. The new normal this year, don't forget, once we come back to school, you will have to wear your mask. We will always keep a safe distance. Okay, in the classrooms, the chairs will not be in groups anymore. You will be situated far away from each other. And the usual practice, we wash your hands as often as we can. Okay? Next, your digital library. So for the meantime, everything will be in digital form. So for math, I know there are a lot of apps, being used by your teachers. If I use all of those, it will be very confusing for you. So what will we be using? We'll be using the following apps. Okay, the following apps: Zoom, of course, and then Google Classroom, everything, all the important comments, reminders, assignments, I posted on Google Classroom. Okay, by this time, you should have accepted my Google Classroom invite already. Edgenuity, okay? Last year, I assigned Edgenuity, but we were not that serious about it. But this year, our main curriculum or main course in doing online class will be based on edgenuity. Okay, so I'll talk about that later. Castle learning, some practices that we could do are in castle learning. In Rampage Math, I'll be sending videos, videos that will help you understand math better, and you will have to go to that YouTube page. Okay. Power School is our new grading system here in Renaissance. So you will have to learn that. You will eventually have an account. Quizzes and Kahoot is when we take electronic tests. Okay. So get ready for assessments that could be online as well. Okay. Next. All right. Zoom video conference rules. So these are the rules we need to follow. Number one, you sign into class on time. Okay. I know you will come from a previous class. It will take some time to move from one class to the other to click the Zoom link. And the Zoom link will always be in the Google Classroom. And I will always use the same link all throughout the year. And then number two, as you come in, your video should be on. There is no excuse for not having your videos on. And then always mute unless you are asked to speak. Just like right now, all your audio are in mute. That means you cannot speak unless you're asked. And then be responsible in the use of the chat room, of course, chat room. Sometimes I ask questions, and if you need to respond, just type it there if I ask you to do so. And then therefore use the Zoom reaction symbols. If Ram is teaching too fast or too slow, you need to make a thumbs up, okay, or clap for to acknowledge your classmates. Use those reaction buttons. Next, no eating, no chewing, no drinking, okay? No eating of meals, okay? I don't want to see somebody eating spaghetti, their chicken, or eating soup while I'm having a class, all right? So maybe water is allowed. Probably I would allow water. And then ask permission if you want to have some break, a bathroom break, type it in the chat room, raise your hand so that I know if there's nobody in the camera, that means you're somewhere else. Okay? So ask permission. Next, remote learning environment. So these are my suggestions to make your remote learning convenient and helpful for you. Number one, designate a study area at home with a chair and desk. Right now, look at your situation, look at your environment. If you're seated on a chair and you have a table, perfect. Okay. But if you're in your couch, you're in your bed, I'm telling you now, that is not the good way to learn math, because you'll be doing some writing, you'll be taking down notes. You need a place to do this. Okay. Have adequate light, school supplies beside you already. Your pencils and pens are near you. There's a power strip where you need to plug in if needed. Paper supplies are beside you. Scrap papers, calculators, your textbook, your math textbook is still being ordered by the school. Eventually, it will be distributed to you. Okay, so you have all these materials around you, and when you need it, you can easily grasp it. You don't need to ask permission. Ram, can I go to my sister's room? My book is there. No. Number three, if possible, use a headphone with a microphone when you're Zooming. Okay? Because, there could be noise around your house. I understand that. Your siblings might be doing Zoom as well. Your parents are at home. Okay? Some relatives at home. I understand that situation. And having a headset and a microphone will help. Okay, if you're asking for a Christmas present from your parents, ask for something like this. Okay, or if you don't have this, you could use your earbuds that goes with a microphone. It came with your smartphone, so you can use that. Okay, have your daily planner or agenda notebook. So the planner is beside you. That's where you write your assignments. I didn't finish this, or math. I need to finish assignment number 3 or homework number 5. Okay, be sure you have your math notebook, right? I ask you to have your math notebook, the graph ruled notebook beside you. I will tell you while I'm teaching, take down some notes. Remember this, okay? If I give you time to write something, please write it down. It will be also good if you write the date for that notes. Okay? Beside you, you should have a bulletin board or a whiteboard so where you could post your passwords, okay, where you could post a calendar, you could post reminders, you could post schedule around you, okay, around you, so that anytime you need that information, you just look around. You don't need to what? You don't need to go to my sister's room again and look for this. What's my next class? What's my password? All right, all information around you. Next, math supply. You already got this email, this video um, weeks before, right? A graph ruled notebook. Okay, be sure it has graphs. Okay, whether we're learning remote or if ever we're going back to the classroom, we will be using this notebook. And once we're back in school, you will be having handouts. And then the handouts, I ask you to label these folders. The current is on the left, what we're working on at the present time. Put it on the left side, and the old handouts on the other side. Okay, just like what I have here. And then the ruler, transparent protractor, mechanical pencil should be point 0.7, and the TI-30XA calculator, scientific calculator. Okay, so if you don't have it, you still have time to purchase this over the weekend. Okay, and if you don't have it, ask your mom and dad. This could be a nice advance Christmas present for you. All right. Next, okay, daily our daily math routines. What happens in a regular, okay, remote class? This applies to remote class. Okay, the routine in the classroom, in the real classroom, will be a different one. Okay, number one, before we start the class, early in the morning, you should check email and Google Classroom. Two things, all right? Even before math time, early in the morning, those are the two things. Okay, now it's math time. Log into Zoom, Math Zoom. Okay, Math Zoom. So Zoom, you're now in the class. The first thing you do while waiting for the other classmates is to sign in the attendance. I will share with you the link, and then just click the link and it will tell you what to do. It will bring you to a Google survey where you write down your name, the date, and how you feel for that day. That's it. That counts as your attendance. Okay, whether you are doing um, remote learning or you're just at home, you have to do it every day during math time. Like if your math time is period 3, don't do it in period 6. You have to do it in that period. Why? Because Google records the time you answer that survey. So I will know if you answered it the day after or hours later. Okay. Then after that, log into Edgenuity. So Edgenuity, you should have your username and password. We'll talk about that later. Number 5, write notes in Edgenuity handouts or in your notebook. Now, if you log into Edgenuity and if you have a printer at home, life would be easier. Why? Because it will allow you to print handouts version of the lecture. So while you're listening at the lecture, you have a ready-made handout. See, so nice. But if you don't have a ready-made handout, okay, you still have your notebook. You can write important facts in your notebook. Okay? And then number 6, at the end of the period, okay, you will write down your homework in your planner or in your agenda book. Okay. All right. So those are the daily routines. every day that happens. Next. Okay, grading system. How do I grade you? Now, before we did more emphasis on the test that I have. Every Friday I give you a test. But now, for a week probably there are two quizzes. Quizzes are not the long tests, but mini tests. Okay, so where will that come from? It will come from Edgenuity. After after doing a sequence of lessons in Edgenuity, online itself, you will have to do the quiz. Okay, that quiz includes assignments and everything. Everything that Edgenuity records will give you a grade, and that counts as the main classwork. Okay, classwork. We label it as classwork. Now, that's 60%. Now, in terms of participation, recitation, when you participate in my Zoom class, when we do breakout rooms, you share, you explain your work, you talk, you show yourself, that's 20% participation. Number three are the extra quizzes or tests that I give you. That would be Kahoot, or quizzes, or some other apps that you will be doing, or even a project. So 60%, 20%, 20%. So Edgenuity is the major factor for your grade. Remember that. Next, things to do. So for today until the weekend, these are the things we need to organize. Number one, your Google Classroom. Be sure you're in. You will read the reminders. Edgenuity account. We'll talk about that later. And then you have your math notebook. And then number three, a math folder. Number four, a math folder. And then number five, all the supplies around you in your study desk. Okay? Or in a book bag. You don't need a book bag now. It should be all spread out beside you. Okay. So those are the things we're going to do today and over the weekend, so that on Monday, we could begin regular math work. Okay, so final thought for you, math, M-A-T-H. Just remember this, mistakes allow thinking to happen. Okay, I'm not perfect, you're not perfect. We aim to be mathematically intelligent or smart. But to be a good mathematician, it is natural, it is just ordinary to commit mistakes. Okay, even I commit mistakes. So mistakes allow thinking to happen. It will make you realize why you got it wrong. It will make you realize you have to do a different strategy or a different way to solve the problem. It will make you realize that you have to think another way, look at the problem in another point of view. It will make you realize that you need to learn something first before you do something else. Okay, so that's okay. All right, failing is okay in math as long as you learn from your mistakes and you do something to improve yourself. Okay, so this is the quick orientation about math, and then we will talk more about other topics in the next segments of this class. Okay, good luck.